Ooh, we're gonna do the thing. Are you ready? Who's ready for day one? Grab your tie, grab your workbook if you haven't got it. If you need the link to grab the workbook, head into the events tab. If you're ready to join us backstage, come hang out, join us backstage. We're gonna be doing this 56. Ooh, who's ready? I'm ready. I'm so excited. I'd play music right now, but if we play music, Facebook will take us down. So we're going for it. We're getting ready. Did you got your pen, paper, your workbook? If you're having trouble getting into the Zoom, any of those things, let me know in the chat. I am watching the chat and I will be doing both. 20, 19, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, that's annoying, and I'm not sure where it's at. YouTube timer. We need to make you go away. We're done. We're done with you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. I am really excited. Am I supposed to be on Zoom or is this okay? Kim, you can hang out. Either place is more that you want to hang out with. How this is going to work is I will do the training. If you are on Zoom in the back end, as soon as the training is over, I will dig into your business, your podcast, and it gives you a little bit more one-on-one coaching. So even if you come into the Zoom, like as you see this is ending, you're like, okay, I still want coaching. You can come on in. I stay for a little bit longer and we dig into your business. But either way, you can hang out wherever you want. And I can put the Zoom link in if you need the Zoom link and all of the things. So we are going to get rolling and we're just going to go all in because, we like to do things. We like to move fast. We like to not waste your time because I know you're all busy. So let's start this presentation and get rolling. So today you are here because you are struggling with just being busy all the time. You are struggling with not wanting to do all the things. You are struggling with feeling burnt out and you want to see if podcasting is for you. Or maybe you have a podcast and it's not growing and you're not monetizing it. So we want to do this with flow and with ease. So do I have your permission? I make up words and I have typos. If that's not okay with you and you need perfection, there's the door. I love you dearly, but I will always have those. I share from my point of view with passion, and sometimes it leads to sailor speak. It's very rare, but sometimes I can be a little offensive. I will ask you from time to time to pause for a moment to get grounded. This also helps me because I will get so passionate that I will just talk about a minute and just take a deep breath. And then I'm just going to tell it like it is and share from my heart. So we're going to talk about your priorities. We're going to relight your fire, discover what you really want, and the homework. There is a method to the madness of why this is related to podcasting, to growing your business, to all the things. And this is because if you are not crystal clear on who you are, what you desire, who you're serving, all of those things, your content's going to be hard. You're going to be constantly feeding the content monster. You're going to be constantly having to build because it feels muddy. And when you feel muddy, it comes across and you get crickets. The clearer you are on who you are, what you stand for, what your business is, who you're serving, the better it's gonna be. So why get clear? Again, I just told you all the reasons. Once you're clear, and I resisted this. I am your pivoting queen. I am your person that never wants to do things over and over and over and over and over again. But let me tell you, the more I sat with this and got clear, now I can create content in minutes instead of hours. I have moved to my business from 15 to 16 hours of marketing to 3 to 4, depending on the week. This week, there'll be 5 because I'm obviously coming in for an extra couple of hours to do this event. But before that, 15 plus hours. And then that didn't even account for all the time I spent on Canva or rebranding. So what happens when you aren't clear? Are you overwhelmed, Olga? Here's what happens. You rebrand, you start talking to everyone who ends up talking to no one. You just basically sit in the mud, you sit in the weeds, you feel like you're always on that hamster wheel. Maybe you're overwhelmed, Olga, because you only think that social media is your only strategy, but you're also not clear on who your one person is, who your one offers for, what your one solution is. We're going to keep talking about this power of one. I've had programs that are called Science of One. There's all about getting to know that one, because when you have that one, you can talk to that person. It's like sitting down talking to your best friend and selling to her. You're not going to sell to her. I could be like, have you guys tried these, what are they? Nixie sparkling waters that have caffeine in them. They are absolutely delicious. And when you're talking to your friend, you're going to talk to her differently than you're going to talk to someone else. So if you're feeling like overwhelmed, Olga, you don't know who you're serving, you have too many offers. I get it. I'm a manifesting generator. I love to have all the ideas. I download them, I get them out. I have launched 27 courses in the last 5 years. Just let that sink in for a minute. 27 courses. You know how many of them filled? 3. You know how many of them were complete flops? All the rest. But were they really flops? I learned from them, but I was overwhelmed. And then if it flopped the first time, instead of keep trying, I would just rebuild. And I would build these courses before people came. So we don't want to sit in this overwhelm of having to feed the content monster, having to be on social all the time, having to dig in. This is why I like podcasting, but there's other strategies here. So even if you don't think you want a podcast, it's still super important to get clear. Or are you successful, Sarah? You have an idea, you have this can-do attitude, you go out and you do the things, you have a strategy, you get to have your cake and eat it too, and guess what? It doesn't have calories, so you can eat as much of it as you want. That's what we want here. We want to be in a place where our content is flowing out. We are magnetizing our offers and bringing people in. But that's why today we start with discovering our own magic, discovering who we are, discovering what we need in our lives and in our business, discovering who we serve. So I hope you have the workbook because that really gives you an outline. We'll go through some of it here, but the workbook will give you that deeper dive. So who are you and which one of those do you want to be? Are you successful, Sarah, or overwhelmed, Olga? I mean, you have to look inward. Are you overwhelmed, or are you on the path to success, or are you somewhere in between where you just need to get a little bit more crystal clear? Who do you want to be? I like being successful, Sarah, where I can create master classes, I can pitch on my podcast, I can magnetize and I can share and serve for free. And I magnetize people that want to come in and work with me on a deeper level. It takes understanding what you're truly doing and letting go of society's and other people's strategies. I have spent over $150,000 on coaches. And that's not to make people be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But what I realized during those is I was hiring coaches based on that fear. So I was purchasing based on fear. And then I would get into their strategy that didn't feel aligned to my body, mind, or soul. And I was like, okay, this is a problem. This is a problem. It's not aligned. But I learned what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So podcasting might be for you, not be for you. Maybe you're an Instagram person. Maybe you're a Facebook person. I like to use personally, I'm a podcast, email marketing, and Facebook community kind of girl. All I need to keep both my production company and my coaching practice full. That's all I've used. I've, again, cut down from 15 hours to about 4. This week will probably be 5 because of this event. But I'm serving, I'm giving back, I'm giving people steps. And there's different ways that you can give different steps to gain that know, like, and trust, to serve from your heart, where the sales just come to you. I just did a whole sales training inside of someone else's community where she talked about the simple steps of sales. And if you're not in love with sales, your offer might not be aligned. Your message might not be clear. Because once you're clear, it's just like me telling everybody about this pomegranate green tea. It's so good. Like everybody in my life knows about this stuff that's in, that I have contact with, because it's delicious and it gives me 15 milligrams of coffee from organic tea, which is even better, right? Because I'm trying to get completely off caffeine, so I still need a baby step. So, well, who am I? Hi, I'm Jen. I am quirky. I am strange. I am, I love it. I love who I am. I have stood for what I believe in. I'm a stand for, protecting the world and creating a tsunami of self-love. I call myself a land mermaid because if I could, I would be in that ocean all the time, even though it's only 55 degrees. I swim in it. Every time I get there, it's hard to get me out. I am definitely a land mermaid, connector of humans, and I am a podcast enthusiast because I want to share this platform with other people, because I see so many people that are losing so much of their life because they are sitting there. I mean, how fun is it looking at me up in the little corner with my phone over my face? I see so many people going through life, creating that life, that they're missing out on time with their family, with their friends, with their kids. And it's like, yeah, pause and be in the moment. We don't have to record every single moment to share on social to try to get people to buy our stuff. That just isn't, no. My mission is to stop that. And podcasting has been the best way for me to stop that. So if you're tired of pivots, hustle, chasing money, and you're sick of social, you're going to want to stick around for these 3 days, because I'm going to share with you, even if you don't end up launching a podcast, how to get crystal clear so your content comes easily, where you can start to decide, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is how I want to serve, this is how I don't want to serve, this is how I want to attract, all the things. So, and for my podcasters, you'll see why you're not attracting people to your show, why you're not serving people. This was a really hard pill for me to swallow when I was working with my mentor, that I loved my show, I loved what I was doing, but there was a reason why it wasn't serving. And it was hard, but you'll be seeing the Feed Your Business with Love is going to get a full rebrand and a full new name. Not just a simple from Feed Your Body with Love to Feed Your Business with Love. We're getting a full rebrand because I am sick of having to work to find people. I have a whole brand new show that is attracting people like magnets, and I'm not sharing on social at all. It's filling my podcast program, and I don't share about it at all on social media. So the strategy does work. It's a little bit hard for me because I love the free flow. I'm a free spirit. I call myself a land mermaid. But if you can stick to a strategy and allow that free flow to be more in your episodes and what you're serving with, that's where the magic will happen. So take a stand, make it easy, scalable, and give up the hustle. I want you to give up the hustle. I want you to not have to do all the things all the time. I want you to really start taking, if nothing else, you take a look at where you're spending your time in your business and seeing, like, is this really serving you and your audience? Do you even know how you're serving people? So issue number one, I see all the time. I can raise my hand and say, this is me. I was seeking those quick wins. I was following other people's highlight reel, overnight successes. We see it, we want it, we drive for it, we buy the shiny object, and then we realize the shiny object makes us feel burnt out. Issue number two is fear. Oh, fear to go all in. Hello, duct tape boat to cross the ocean. We don't actually take the time to be like, okay, let's do this. Go all in, duct tape the boat, cross the ocean, do the things. But here's the thing. Guess what? Fear is a liar. So when fear comes up, it is a great time to get curious. If you can get curious with your fear, with your resistance, that's when the magic is going to happen. Because Your fear, your resistance is probably your ideal client's fear and resistance too. And as soon as you move through that, you can help someone else move through that too. It creates all of this amazing, juicy, connectable content where you become relatable and people want in your space. So fear keeps you in figure it out mode, not messy action mode. And we know we're all about the messy actions, right? We want to take the actions forward. If you have spent the last 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 5 years figuring it out, that's fear. That's time to start going in. That's why today is all about figuring out you, what you're struggling in, what you're stuck in, what's preventing you from making sales, what's preventing you from aligning your podcast in a way that attracts people in. And I see you over there building Canva graphics and buying another shiny object, because you know what? Hey, that's me. I have this come up all the time. My mentor is putting out a new program and I'm like, I want to buy it so bad. I'm like, Jen, you must resist. You must resist. You don't need another shiny object. Because as soon as I get into overlearn mode, I stop doing mode. And that's what I see a lot of coaching programs. And that's what I'm changing is it's like, I want you to have actionable steps. Take a step, take a step, take a step. What fear looks like, if you're not sure, it can show up as perfectionism, overwhelm, people pleasing, hours and hours on social media, overthinking, over planning, Canvas, courses, certificates. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I've got to get another certificate. I can't do this without. That's not true. You're pleasing others. You're trying to fit in. You're trying to make it not look scary. And also, here's the harsh truth, is that sometimes it's easier to stay stuck in this mediocrity, I can't even say that word, life, and be stuck in a garbage situation where you're like, I'm not truly living my life, than it is to move forward. Because what if that thing when you move forward is taken away, right? I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. So I really want you to start thinking about, like, what is fear looking like for you? So when you want to start doing this, it really is, it's all about what the answer is to get clear on your soul aligned purpose. What do you truly want? For years, I told people I wanted a horse rescue. Years. It felt like a noble cause. I'm like, hey, I want a horse rescue. I want to make millions and millions of dollars because I want a horse rescue. I don't want a horse rescue. Do I want to be able to donate to someone else's horse rescue? Yeah. Do I want my own? Oh no, that's way too much work. So you really need to get clear on what's your soul aligned purpose. What have you been saying for years that's not fitting in? This is why I've created the workbook. And I hope you guys have downloaded that inside the back end of your, you should have got it in your email, and it's also on the Kajabi site, which is in the course that I'm creating for this for you guys. And then you got to create that step-by-step messy action plan and actually take the scary steps forward. Because with clarity, the content flows. The more clear you are. Clear as mud does not work in business. Clear as mud keeps you stuck, keeps you on the hamster wheel, and we do not want to do that. So we need to anchor in our bodies. Take that aligned, messy action. Sometimes our bodies are going to show resistance because, one, we're not doing the right thing. Maybe we're not having the right offer, it's not aligned. But two, when that fear comes up, it might feel weird in your body. You have got to get curious with your fear. Curiosity is going to be your best friend. Today, we're getting curious. So let's dig into who you are, what you desire, and what that tsunami legacy impact is that you want to make on the world. So why? This helps you find your theme of your show and your legacy. When you find that theme of your show and your legacy, we can position it through search engine optimization, through talking to your actual client, through step-by-step actions that actually make your listeners want to listen the following week, want to take the next step with you. This helps you create your pitch. So when you want to collaborate, you can pitch really easy. You can pitch your offers to your clients. You can pitch on a sales call. But you got to get clear, and allows you to keep yourself in check so that you can focus on what's important. You're not building out Canva graphics. You're not building out, rebranding. I mean, look back through my brand. I have done this. For 5 years, I have done this. Have I scraped by and kept my business afloat? Yes. But it wasn't until this year that I got crystal clear on who I was serving, what I was offering, who I'm doing this for, who I am. After sitting on that floor in Costa Rica last year where I couldn't even put my name on the page because I had lost myself so much, that was a problem. Get crystal clear. So it starts with, knowing your priorities. This is like my little dream circles. They're not on there, but you have spirituality, creativity, finances, career, education, health, physical activities, home cooking, environment, relationships, social life, joy. Where are your levels? Are they aligned with what your priority is? Create a priority list. If your priorities are your family, fun, and time off, and you're working 60-hour weeks, and then you can't stop thinking about it, guess what? Your priorities are off. So create a list of your priorities and then create a list of what's actually your priority in your life. And you're going to find they're unbalanced, especially if you feel like you're on the hamster wheel, which I know you are, or you wouldn't be here. Once you start visioning your life, what feelings do you want to feel? All the feels are welcome. Feelings aren't bad. Even ones that we think are bad, anger, fear, like these aren't bad. So great ways for us to get curious and have an amazing human experience. What are you doing now? What do you want them to do? What do you want to do? Time, money, effort, like dream big. Don't forget about the small things like being social, having fun. This isn't just about your business. This is about your entire life. Your life is not your business. If your life is your business because you are so incredibly stuck to social, then it's time to ask yourself, is that how you want to live? Is that how you want to serve? Is that how you want to show up for your family? Is that how you want to show up for your friends? Is that where it's truly bringing you joy and pleasure and play and passion in your life? Get real clear. So what do you want to be a stand for? Stand for many things. On top of podcasting and getting people off of social, I'm a stand for, going against frankenfoods and big food companies, because I do believe in our bodies and I do believe in what we feed ourselves and how that affects the world. I'm all for going against those kind of things. But that is a piece of what I share, but it's not my core business. But it allows people to get to know me. So all the stand fors you are. I'm a stand for not living on social. I'm a stand for not having to buy all the shiny things. I'm a stand for all of those things. And then I want you to, for bad days, I want you to write, I am enough. I am worthy, whatever it is you will need, because it's going to get hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. It makes you look inward and be like, oh my goodness, seriously, I'm shining a light on all those dark spaces that I've been trying to hide from. And again, I am asking you to create this because as you can see, and you're unfolding this, like you can see how this relates to content that you can put out to attract and magnetize your clients into your space, right? Because you are right now, a former version of you is probably your ideal client avatar, someone that's not quite as far along in the journey as you. 99% of the time, that's what I've seen with clients is you've already been through something, you want to help somebody through it. So what have you overcome? What have you learned? How does this help with content growth, making money? You've overcome it. You've learned it. You can relate to where your clients are right now. You came into the space because you can relate with what I'm doing. You've seen what I'm doing. Some of you have been in my space for a long time and you've seen all of it. You've seen health coaching, you've seen health at every size, intuitive eating coaching, chronic pain, chronic illness coaching, business coaching, like let's name it. I've probably tried it on for a little while. But now that I'm crystal clear on my purpose is to help people find themselves, share their voice, and use their voice through podcasting to monetize and to make a tsunami legacy impact on the world, content is easy. I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to seek outside validation. Again, because your ideal client was a past version of you, and our stuff still sneaks up on us. That's why I want you to become hyper aware of things you're struggling with. Are you still struggling with clarity? Let's drop in our bodies, go share the homework. Let us support you. Let us help you tease out some of this clarity. Sometimes it's just as simple as having someone else ask you a question. And hello, I'm a questioner and I love asking questions. So your homework, this is all about you, clear on your priorities, your past struggles, your win. And tomorrow we're going to set up a foundation based on this clarity, because once you have the clarity, you need that foundation of your podcast. This might mean rebranding. And that is not going to be one of those hiding techniques. It's going to be a rebranding to pivot so that people can find your show, show up on your show. If you're on social, show up on your social media. Rebranding is really getting to know these past struggles, your wins, all of these things, and talking to your clients. And I want you to post in the community, because you'll be entered to win. You'll be entered to win. I have scholarships. I have some other fun prizes, door prizes. And that's really like the fun parts of what we're doing. So who is ready? Tomorrow again is on the agenda is your foundations. The one offer, the one person, the one mission, the one legacy. We'll get crystal clear today on who you are. Tomorrow we'll build out your one foundation. This is something I want you to take in all of your content going forward. Because once you do this and you're like, whoa, I'm talking to one person, it becomes easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's what we have for you today. If you are on Facebook, ta-ta for now. For those of you behind the scenes, I am going to stop the live stream and we can hang out and talk and dig into your businesses once I figure out how to stop the share. Boom. Hello, hello, ladies. We are no longer streaming live, so you guys can pop in. If you have questions, we can dig into your businesses, all the fun things.
Hey, lady.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. This is exciting.
I'm really excited. I just got off. I'm doing this training with my new coach, and I'm just like, oh, everybody needs this.
You're inspired and you're inspiring us. This is perfect. This is how it should be.
Right? And I'm like, and nobody needs to pay $20K for this. Because that's what I paid. I'm like, I just want to share.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, no, you gotta drop it sometimes. No, I feel like I need this desperately because first of all, I've been like kind of taking a break from the show because I know that I need, you know what I mean? And I'm fully in that space of like procrastinating and waiting for like the perfect answer to come in. And I know what I need to do, but I mean, that's why I'm here, because you just said it. Like there needs to be a rebranding. There's a self-care, self-care is my job. It's kind of general, even, all of my verbiage and branding, it's very general right now, but that's where I was in October 2020 when I first, put that hat on. But yeah, like everything's kind of evolved a little bit as far as even how I feel about self-care and like what it means to me. So I do think, and it never even had like any kind of like graphic brandage in the first place. Like it needs a facelift, maybe even a new name, but I'm like scared of that because it's, what if I just, if I change everything, then where's everybody going to go? I'm starting over or whatever it is, but that very much might be a thing.
Oh, I get it. I had to come to that harsh realization. I went from feed your body with love to feed your business with love. And my coach, I love her, thank goodness, like this is probably the first coach that's actually like helped me. And she's like, nobody's finding this. Your show's not growing because of this, this, and this. And it's that strategy piece. It's this part that we resist, especially in this community. We're healers, we're spiritually driven, we're women of woo, we're all of those things. And we want to have this like flow and fun. But if we have flow and fun with like the foundation pieces, nobody's going to come.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to give up feed your business with love. She's like, we really should. I'm like, oh, that's so harsh.
I know it feels like you're killing a child or something. Not really, but it feels like a little bit, like a sacrifice of some sort.
Yeah, it is, because it's our baby. We birthed it. We birthed it during a really trying time.
Yeah, completely.
And the core message is probably still there. You know,
I
self-care
mean,
is your job.
I just wrote out in an email yesterday, like just, to my list of just, it finally kind of came out of me like, okay, how has my take and understanding of self-care changed from 2 years ago to now? Just based on the direction I'm going now with somatic healing and the nervous system and everything, like things make more sense to me now. It's even more important to me now, but like it's not just all fluffy talk about self-care. It's more like, no, I really need to tell you this. you like really, really, really need to know this type of approach. So yeah, it needs to be different. It can't be just me having conversations with practitioners anymore. It needs to be more solo episodes, which I know we talked about as it is. And it's on my schedule to record on Friday and get back in there.
Well, tomorrow's foundation, so it's perfect. So those episodes that you put out might be, I do this in this process because it really is important, like the clarity piece and that awareness, like, holy crap, like I have 170 episodes and I still have 15 that I'm putting out that I've recorded, because I recorded a lot before I got into this program. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, none of this is aligned. People are only listening for 20 minutes now. Like that's about the average of what people are willing to listen to. So you really have to like structure that first 20 minutes really well. You really have to title it, or you have to drive the traffic yourself. But it's really that foundational piece of like, there's not a lot that's searchable. And people want in and out. They don't want the fluff. They want you to like tell the story, invite them to do something, tell the story that turns into how it makes it easy to then invite them to something, like that empathy piece, or like, the somatic healing. Like there's so much there that people are looking for. So then it's doing the deep dive. Okay, well, in the somatic healing world, there's a ton of things that come up with SEO. That's nervous system, that's stress management, that's, like, are you still talking to busy moms? Are you still talking to, like, who's your one person you're talking to? And talk to her. And my big thing was we had to dumb down what we're saying, because they don't understand. They're still stuck in the barely, survival mode. And then building the back end of like, okay, well, they're on your show. Where are you leading them? Is there an offer behind it? Is there a freebie behind it? Is there a webinar event like this is? I had a bunch of signups. I have no idea who half these people are, which I know they came in from the podcast that I don't share on social. I know people will be watching the replay. And I know a lot of my people that are coming from my other show don't use social media, which is why I have the back end set up on Kajabi, because I see how many people are logging into Kajabi and I'm like, you guys haven't joined my Facebook group yet, so I know you're not going to go there.
So that's just, if you're seeing a ton of people signing up that did not click through from your social media, that went straight to your site, that means that it is a searchability like win, essentially.
Yeah. That other show I am doing is purely based off SEO. So right now I've moved the show. It's been out for about 6 weeks and we're consistently, I haven't done anything. We're consistently getting 150 downloads an episode. All as I've done is record and put it out there, because I don't want to I'm not even like full SEO strategy yet. I'm testing to see if this process really works, because I don't want somebody to be like, oh, I just spent all this work and it's not going to do anything. So we're consistently, after 6 weeks of not sharing, I put it out there. I know that works because that is way faster than I grew Feed Your Business with Love. And Feed Your Business with Love is not growing at all. It is like status quo. Some months it goes down. On occasion it'll rise, but it won't do anything. So that's and then next month I'm going to start my Pinterest strategy. because that's another SEO driven thing where I don't have to be on social all the time. I create once and let it go. Because I'm just so sick of having to like content create. And having people on my shows was not helping.
Yeah, because they're not sharing as they say they might do.
Or even if they share, their audience doesn't care. They're sharing on a social media platform with people that are trained to like 60-second or less content.
Yeah.
You got to catch people where they're willing to listen. And it's proven that like people that listen to podcasts have more education and more money than people on social media.
Mm.
So it's really like there's this whole strategy behind setting it up so that people find you through that app. And going in
I
deep
mean,
on this.
I clearly have a limiting belief of that there's no way that anybody will find my podcast through Anchor. You know, like that there's no way that anybody will just like stumble upon it on Spotify or actually, I mean, it's on my site. You can listen to every episode right on my website. But I kind of have this belief like if I don't stream it on social, nobody will listen to it.
Mm-hmm. And social is the least converting way to get people onto your podcast.
Crazy. That's like a perfect example of a limiting belief that fucks you.
Yeah, but I paid $7,000 to this other guy, and all he taught me was Facebook and Instagram strategy to grow my show. And I was like, you're making me post like 50 times a day. I'm in my stories. Like, this was my life. And
I know.
like, I can't do that.
That's a huge reason why I want to focus here, because the two efforts need to be combined. Like it can't be like, oh, I'm promoting my coaching offerings and constantly creating content for that. Oh, but I also have a podcast. Like, no, it has to be like all in one shot. And it has to be, like you said, like actually getting leads through the podcast. I can't have that just be, this is my freebie. I mean, it is the freebie, but that is the freebie. It needs to generate something.
And like with what you do, like there's so many other ways, like getting on Insight Timer and putting out meditations there and teaching classes on Insight Timer, because they don't let you market. They do all the marketing for you, like for what you do, especially with all this, like somatic is the breath work, right?
Say that again.
It's like the somatic thing has all the breath work and the meditations and all of that stuff to it, right?
It's really anything body-based healing. But yeah, there's definitely a breath aspect for sure.
But you could do, like there's ways that aren't social. So you put out the meditations, you ask your warm audience, because you do have a warm audience. So you ask your warm audience to go give you some reviews on there, some ratings. And after you get 4 with decent ratings, they let you teach classes in there. Well, they promote your classes for you. People want to get to know you. And then you have a podcast that takes them even deeper. So like there's these things that are like, we don't have to create posts and content. There's this whole back end piece that I believe in the beginning. If you built on social, first we got to get out, like you said, that limiting belief. We've built it on social. You already have people on social. Let's try to get them off. Let's try to get them into your programs. Let's try to get them into your network. But I really she believe that we don't need to be a slave to social. My mentor, she makes money like crazy. I mean, I paid her 20 grand. She has a Facebook group because community shows up on Facebook. They aren't going to show up on Mighty Networks. They're not going to show up on Kajabi community. They're not going to show up on any of that stuff. It's just proven. So if you want a community, that's the only time I'm like, yeah, let's try Facebook. I've been trying to do lives and all this other stuff just because I'm testing. I like to test things. But in reality, if you can get clear when we come in tomorrow, we'll set up the foundation so that when you record on Friday, you'll have a little bit more clarity on like, oh, look, this is where I should be going. Maybe instead of recording, you're like, whoa, I need to pause and I need to work on this foundation piece, build out my episodes, and then record. I think you just.
Sorry, driving.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. There's a part of me that's like, oh, I should just like, don't let it go any longer. Just jump right back in and record an episode and blah, 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 but the reality is, maybe I have been taking a pause. I should really just like at this point, it's the reapproach of everything.
I think that if you like go through tomorrow, like even if you can't come live, if you go through the foundations tomorrow, you might find that you've set aside that time for recording, but just getting crystal clear and creating episodes and then a little bit of a structure behind how you're recording your episodes. If you can get those laid out, I think when you sit down to record, you'll be like, oh, look, and it's like, there's so many things that I've learned that I don't even really edit much anymore. I just use a topic and at least level out the loudness, but I do all my recording and I just clean it up as I go.
Yeah.
So
structure because my episodes are so long.
Yeah. If you can do quick and easy wins.
And save me time too.
Yeah. And those one long episodes might be. You're what?
I know it gets loud when I get loud when I'm driving because when it connects in here on Zoom, if I'm listening to something, I can't hear anything at this point. So I think that tomorrow.
Sounds good. But yeah, do some of the clarity stuff on the like what you want, what you're currently struggling with. And then tomorrow we'll build out the foundation pieces and then really evaluate like, is Friday your record day or is it a build your foundation day? Because this can happen quickly. You can still get it revamped and out quickly. It's just a matter of taking that time to get clear so that the actions you're taking are actually going to help you.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to all happen at once. It might not be a rebrand up front, but it might be a restructure of how you're doing your episodes. Then you start getting those out, then you go back and do the rebrand. But just having something in mind with a clear, this is how you do it, is going to be like the most helpful for you.
Absolutely.
I'm so jealous. Look at those pretty clouds.
I'm gonna go because I'm driving and because my phone is like it's like 7,000 degrees. My
Sounds
phone.
good.
But I'm gonna see you soon.
All right. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.